Warm good evening, dear students. Welcome to another set of e-content. In this video, we are going to learn about the subject International Trade Procedures 2. And myself, Dr. M. Saravanan, working as an Associate Professor and Head, Department of International Business, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. This video will take you to the topic on starting an import business. Like whenever you wanted to import a product, right? So what are the steps you have to keep in mind when you do an import business? Import is basically sourcing or buying the raw material from the overseas market. As a buyer, I have to find out the prospective suppliers who are spread across the globe who will be able to supply the goods which according to my specification. So there are a sequence of steps that has to be kept in mind by the importer whenever a product is being imported. So whenever you do an import business, the first thing you have to do is you have to have a proper research and planning. So you have to really identify the demand for the products that you wanted to import. So you should also decide from where am I going to import and who are the competition for my product. That has to be carefully studied. Supplier identification is also to be done by the importer. International suppliers and manufacturers are spread across the globe. So even you can seek the help of online platforms for sourcing your suppliers. And you should have an goal effectively. So your goals should be outlined properly. You should have a target market, and you have to decide upon the logistics and shipping, the cost involved, and the financial projections that you anticipate when you do an import business. And then choosing a business structure. So you again for the export, the same is for import. So you have to decide, if I'm going to do an import business, how should I do it? Either am I doing it as a partnership or a proprietorship or a company form of organization or a limited liability company or a corporation. That has to be carefully decided by the importer. And registering your business is something which is very essential. So you have to apply for necessary permits to operate legally across the globe. And you have to identify, you have to register for tax identification numbers like the GST, VAT, or even EIN, which is applicable in USA. And import-export documentation is something which is very important for doing an import business. So you have to obtain IE code from your country's trade authority. So for the issuing the IE code, we have Director General of Foreign Trade. And if in case of USA, it is the ITN in America, which issues the importer-exporter code number. And as an importer, I have to register myself with the customs department to ensure smooth clearance of goods and services. And certificate of origin is something which is required for specific products by specific countries. So that has to be understood by the importer. Understanding the regulations. So you have to research on duties and the taxes that is being levied on imported goods. And you should understand that the goods attract customs duty, and the customs duty is calculated based on the value of the goods. And you have to check for product specific compliance and such as safety standards, health standards, or even environment standards from the supplier country. And you have to decide upon the restricted items that is been in practice, that has been announced by the government from time to time. Restricted items are those items which are restricted by the government of India, but when you have obtained license from the government, you are allowed. And you have to make sure you have sufficient working capital to procure raw materials for manufacturing, for shipping, and for other costs. And whenever you are lacking in funds, you can obtain trade credit from banks. You can arrange for trade finance from financial institutions. And you should have an effective logistics and supply chain network. So you have to partner with freight forwarders who will be able to source the product from the supplier and give it back to you. And you have to arrange for warehousing whenever required. So you can even have your own warehouse, or there are government designated bonded warehouses. There are private warehouses where the goods can be stored. And shipping insurance is where, again, in order to protect your cargo from damage or from loss, you can arrange for shipping insurance. Marketing and sales. Marketing and sales is like you have to build a network of buyers or distributors so that your product is frequently sourced upon. And you have to set an online presence, and you can even showcase your products in online platforms like Alibaba or Google or eBay, or so many online platforms are there where you can showcase your products. And you have to develop a marketing strategy that is tailor-made, that will suit your target audience, because the world is so big, the world is so vast. So you have to narrow down your market so that you can focus on them and have a good revenue on it. And as said already, start small. Okay, you begin with small orders so that you can test your product demand, and you can test your processes, and gradually expand your business so that your profits can improve, your operational efficiency can be attained. And build relationships. You have to establish long-term relationship with the suppliers and logistics partners. So for which you have to frequently attend trade fairs and exhibitions, you have to attend international expos. So for networking and sourcing new products. So these are some of the guidelines which you have to keep in mind when you start an import business.